Welcome back to the Board Business Channel. We're going to look at Mobiltron today.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of this under-the-radar company,
Mm-hmm.
but they've got a global reach now.
Yeah. Global player, more than 1,000 employees across multiple continents.
And it's just such a fascinating story how they've grown from their early beginnings.
You know what's wild about them?
Yeah.
It's just how they've reinvented themselves over time.
Yeah.
So they started out making automotive electronic components.
Okay.
Things like alternators and voltage regulators.
Okay, now you know what some people listening might be like.
Yeah.
Alternators, what are those?
Right.
I don't know cars very well.
Well, they're essential.
Right.
They keep your car's electrical system running.
Okay.
So, without an alternator, you wouldn't have headlights, you wouldn't have your radio.
Totally.
You might not even be able to start your engine.
Wow. So they're kind of like a hidden hero of the car.
Yeah. Nobody really thinks about them unless they go bad.
Right.
And then you're in trouble.
It's exactly. Yeah.
So that's where Mobiltron started. And they really mastered that market.
Okay.
But then they moved into power tools.
Okay, that makes sense. I
Well,
guess, if you know how to build,
Yeah, motors, electrical systems.
all that stuff.
Kind of a natural progression.
Makes sense.
But then here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
They made the leap into electric buses and energy storage.
Whoa.
Okay.
Big jump.
So they went from little car batteries to powering whole buses.
Yeah, it's like they saw the future of transportation coming.
They had that crystal ball.
Yeah, and they were ready.
That's amazing.
And there's more to the story.
I bet there is.
The chairman of Mobiltron, Kim, he's not your typical business leader.
Okay.
He's got this really interesting perspective on success.
Right.
He combines sharp business skills with, get this, game theory.
Game theory.
Yeah, like the stuff you learn in economics classes.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't really know much about it.
Well, he actually gave a talk at National Chunxing University.
And he shared his whole approach to career and business success.
Wow.
He talked about the importance of 5 virtues.
5 virtues.
Okay, yeah, things like wisdom and trust, courage, all those qualities that make a really great leader.
So it's not just about making money. It's about, leading with integrity.
Exactly. It's about the big picture.
I like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense when you think about Mobiltron's journey.
Right.
They didn't just stay in one lane. They evolved and took those risks.
Yeah, just like a good game theorist would do.
So smart. So smart.
And this leads us to another key to their success.
Okay.
Vertical integration.
Okay. Vertical integration. One of those business buzzwords.
It is, but it's a big deal.
Break it down for me.
So basically, they control most of their supply chain,
Okay.
from designing and making essential components all the way to assembling entire electric buses.
Wow.
You don't see that very often in the auto industry.
So they're like a one-stop shop.
Pretty much, yeah.
So they're not just playing the game. They're changing the rules.
Yeah, they're ahead of the curve.
I like it. Tell me about their electric bus operation. How big is it?
Well, their subsidiary RAC Electric Vehicles.
Okay.
They're a real powerhouse.
Okay.
They've delivered over 545 electric buses.
545?
Yeah, making them the leading player in Taiwan.
Wow, that's impressive.
And Kim believes they could have done even more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it weren't for some delays.
So he's ambitious.
Oh, yeah. Always pushing for more.
I can see that.
But here's the really interesting part.
Okay.
Mobiltron isn't just about hardware. They're developing some really sophisticated software.
Really?
Yeah, to manage their electric bus fleets.
So they're not just building the buses, they're building the brains behind them.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me about this software.
They created something called APTS, Automatic Passenger Transportation System.
Huh?
It's kind of like air traffic control,
Oh.
but for buses,
Oh.
optimizing bus routes, tracking performance.
So it's like a super smart system that's figuring out the best way to get everything done.
Exactly, and it's working.
Okay, how well is it working?
80% of Taiwan's buses are using it.
Really?
Yeah, and even Vinfast, the Vietnamese electric vehicle company, they're using it too.
Wow. So they're exporting their software expertise.
Yeah, they're not just a bus company, they're a transportation solutions company.
That is super smart. Thinking ahead, what is Kim's vision for the future?
Well, he sees massive potential for electric commercial vehicles.
Okay.
And he's been talking about a soft approach.
A soft approach.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
So it's about moving beyond just the hardware
Okay.
and offering services like what they call MaaS mobility as a service.
Okay.
It's about providing comprehensive transportation solutions, not just vehicles.
Right, so they're thinking big picture long term.
They're thinking about the whole ecosystem.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a bold vision.
I can see that. So how would this MaaS thing work?
Well, imagine having one app on your phone
Okay.
that handles all your transportation needs no matter where you are.
Like a one-stop shop for getting around.
Exactly.
Okay. I like it. Keep going.
So you need a ride to the airport, boom, it books you a ride share.
Okay.
You want to hop on a bus or a train, done.
Wow.
You need a scooter for a quick trip across town, it's all there in the app.
So it's about connecting all these different transportation options in one place.
Exactly, making it seamless and convenient.
I mean, that sounds amazing.
It does.
But how does a company like Mobiltron, that's known for hardware,
Yeah.
actually pull this off?
Well, they're not starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Remember that APTS software we were talking about?
Yeah, the air traffic control for buses.
Exactly. That's a huge asset.
Okay.
Because it shows they already understand how to manage complex transportation networks.
Right, they have that real-world experience with their electric bus fleet.
Exactly.
But Moz is more than just buses, right?
It is. It's about all kinds of transportation.
So how are they going to integrate all of that?
That's where partnerships come in.
Okay.
They need to team up with other companies, like ride-sharing companies, bike-sharing platforms, maybe even public transportation authorities.
So they're not trying to do it all alone.
No, they're building an ecosystem.
Smart. I mean, it takes a village, right?
It does.
To get people moving.
Absolutely.
So they need to become master collaborators.
Yeah, bring all these pieces together.
It sounds like a challenge.
It is for sure.
What are some of the biggest hurdles they might face?
Well, one of the biggest is data integration.
Data integration, okay.
To make Moz really seamless, you need real-time data from all these different providers.
Like what kind of data?
Think bus schedules, train delays, ride availability, even traffic conditions.
So it's a lot of information.
A ton of information.
That they need to somehow pull together and make sense of.
Yeah, it's like creating a giant data symphony.
Wow.
Where everything needs to be in harmony.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
But it's not easy.
I bet not. What else are they up against?
Another challenge is user adoption.
Okay.
You know, people are creatures of habit.
That's true.
And changing how they get around that can be tough.
Right, right.
So Mobiltron needs to show people that Moz is not just convenient,
Okay.
but also reliable and affordable.
So it has to be a real improvement.
It has to make their lives better.
Right. Not just a cool tech demo.
Exactly.
I bet there are regulatory hurdles too.
Oh, for sure, especially in the U.S.
Yeah. Everything's more complicated here.
It is.
So they'll have to navigate all that.
Yeah, all the rules and permits.
And build relationships with local governments.
It's a lot of work.
Sounds like it. But, you know, if it were easy, everyone would be doing it.
That's true.
And I kind of like that Mobiltron is this underdog.
Me too. They have that scrappy spirit.
And they're not afraid to shake things up.
Not at all. Plus, they have Kim at the helm.
Right.
And he's proven he can adapt and anticipate the market.
You know what this whole conversation's got me thinking?
What's that?
About the bigger picture of all this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Mobiltron actually succeeds in building this Moz world,
Yeah.
how could that impact society?
That's a great question.
Like, imagine a world where transportation is not a source of stress anymore.
I like where you're going with this.
What if it was just smooth and integrated into our lives?
Yeah.
Like, we could save so much time and energy.
All that time wasted on commuting and parking and traffic.
Exactly. And people could live further from work, explore new places,
Yeah.
spend more time with their families.
It'd be a whole new level of freedom.
It would.
And think about the environmental impact.
Okay.
Optimizing transportation networks and encouraging electric vehicles?
Yeah.
That could significantly reduce emissions.
Wow. So it's a win-win.
It could be.
A better experience for individuals and a healthier planet.
Exactly.
But we have to be realistic, too.
Right, of course.
Are there any potential downsides?
There are some things to consider.
Like what?
Well, some traditional transportation jobs might be affected.
Wait.
So we need to make sure those workers can transition to new roles.
Okay, that's important.
And protecting user data is crucial.
Yeah, privacy is a big deal.
And of course, we need to ensure that Moz is accessible and affordable for everyone.
Right. It can't just be for the privileged few.
Exactly. It has to benefit everyone.
So it's a complex equation,
It is.
but it's a conversation we need to have.
We do. We need to shape these technologies in a way that benefits society.
I think Mobiltron, with their blend of innovation and social responsibility,
Yeah.
they have the potential to really be a force for good in all of this.
I agree. They're a company to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not just riding the wave of the future.
Right.
They're helping to create it.
And that's what makes their story so exciting.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, that wraps up our look at Mobiltron.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
Always inspiring to see a company that's not afraid to embrace the future.
And to shape it.
That's right. And you know what it makes me think about?
What's that?
Our friend Steve.
Oh, yeah, Steve.
The executive director of the Arizona, Taiwan office.
I know him.
He's been following Mobiltron for a while now.
Really?
And he's convinced they have huge potential in the U.S. market.
Interesting.
He thinks they're really onto something special.
Well, Steve always did have a good eye for emerging trends.
He does. He does.
But seriously, I can see why he's so optimistic about Mobiltron.
Yeah.
That combination of hardware, software, and their forward-thinking approach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the U.S. market is ripe for disruption.
It is. It is. And it feels like Mobiltron is just getting started.
I think so, too. I'm really excited to see what they do next.
Me too. They're definitely a company to watch.
Absolutely. They're not just riding the wave of the future.
Right.
They're helping to shape it.
And that's what makes their story so compelling.
Sure.
All right, folks, that's it for today's show.
Thanks for listening to the Board Business Channel.
Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.